Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another high-level ranked cast. Today, it is, I'm just telling you the time so you can tell what's happening with the leaderboard at the moment. It is the 17th at the time of me recording. I record about 2 days beforehand, although we're about to get a lot recorded on the same day, so if you see the same shirt, that's why. Because I'm going away over the weekend, so I need to pre-record a load of stuff. But today, I wanted to specifically find a map, a game on the new map on Krakoa. One of my favorite actual stories in the comics. I really hope we get to see a live-action version one day. But for now, just being there in-game actually is awesome. So I wanted to bring us an actual game from that, and I picked one with some incredible players here. We got some players from Virtus.Pro and some players from Sentinels. So we have, apparently a lot of the players are playing cross-server at the moment, so we're getting to see some spectacular games. Let's head on in and get this covered. So does the domination map, and we have on the blue team, we got SparkR, Nevix, and Sypeh, all from Virtus.Pro. And on the red team, we've got Rymazing and Crimzo, both from Sentinels. Rymazing gets to play a Crimzo as a substitute/staff member, I believe. Jerky, we saw them play recently in one of our previous games with an incredible Jeff. And DRP, ex-member of Yoinkanda. I'm not entirely sure what team they're on right now. But we got strong players across the board here. We're starting off with the Human Torch and the Psylocke getting banned away. Unfortunate, because both Rymazing and Jerky both wanted to pick up that Human Torch. Now we're seeing a lot of Hulks and a lot of Groots. The Hulk getting a massive cooldown reduction to that indestructible guard, giving them incredible defensive capabilities, and the Groot, still one of the strongest tanks, was barely touched in the most recent patch, just having really good sustain, having the ability to block off people from their healers, just is an incredible choice. Jerky immediately onto that Jeff. We'll see if we get DRP potentially on a Lunar Snow for him. Oh, there's a little bit of roll clashing from the side of the red team here. Blue team, though, already locking in smoothly here. They got double tag, triple strategist, and a main DPS in the form of SparkR. They've got a much better setup here. Nevix, by the way, reminder, at the time of me recording a little bit ago, was the #1 Emma Frost. Let me actually check to see if she still is at the time of me recording this. Emma Frost. Currently, according to the leaderboards on rivalsmeta.com, Nevix is the second best Emma Frost. Haluk, someone who we've also already covered, has overtaken them, so we'll keep an eye on that. For now, though, let's talk about these games and introduce our players. On the left-hand side, it is TTVRANDOMNAIDZ playing the Adam Warlock. We have SparkR playing the Hela. Zachy will be playing the Rocket Raccoon. Nevix is on the Emma Frost. Sypeh is bringing out Lunar Snow. And kappasnake will be playing Magneto. And on the right-hand side, in the red trunks, Rymazing will be playing the Hela. DRP is on the Loki. Jerky will be bringing out the Rocket Raccoon, stopping off the Jeffs. They did not get that Lunar Snow. Honenuki will be on the Magic. Haven't seen a lot of it in Season 2, so nice to see it jumping back in. Arc7Z will be playing the Venom, and Crimzo is on the Magneto. This is a domination map, and welcome to Krakoa. The mutant gates are open, and somehow the rest of these guys broke in. There's like 3 mutants here total. Pressuring in Zachy. Already trying to heal up their team. We're keeping an eye on Arc here as they're trying to dive into the backline on this Venom. That's going to be an Astral Flock to get out of danger. Point channeling up slowly for the blue team. But red team still consistently diving into the backline. SparkR is the target here. Really trying to get into the backline. Focus down. Quick bounce out with the stepping disc. Taking out the BRB, but they're forced down to the low ground. Have to wait for stepping disc to come off cooldown. Or just dashing up. Now stepping disc into the backline. Focus down and absolutely deleted there. Randomnaids picking up the elimination. Sending Cosmic Clusters down the line as blue team claim the first point. Pushing on up to the high ground to try and zone away this entranceway. There are more entranceways on this map, but this one is a heck of a choke point. Can really lock people out that way, Nevix. Always seemingly this season, even the 1 or 2 ranked Emma Frost bouncing between the two. DRP coming in with the rocket clone and the seer. Not the best angle, but they are pushing in, making the best push up here. Jerky drops their own as well, so they got a double coverage here, taking out zachy's right off the bat here and beginning to push back in. Crimzo has the media M. Here comes the psionic seduction from the high ground. Regeneration domain is shutting it down though. Hella is taken to the sky. Rymazing looking to try and burst through the meteor M to counter the back here. Counteracting Goddess of Death from SparkR sends Rymazing down to the floor, but they pick him up as they transform themselves. Rymazing takes out SparkR and Nevix, and red team claim back the point. Up to the high ground to regain control. Trying to hold at the choke point here. They're really looking to make sure to try and catch up in terms of points. They have the Loki, they have the rocket. Their positioning in terms of static positioning is pretty good, but they're kind of forced to play a little bit further up due to the fact that they do have this magic and this venom. They're not in a similar situation to what we see from blue team, where they've got that Hella, that rocket, that Adam Warlock. They want to poke from range. They want to poke and harass. Down goes magic, forced through the portal to try and engage, to try and zone. The red team are holding for the moment. Feast from the abyss into the back line. Media M from kappasnake finds damage, but not enough for an elimination. Taking out only the BRB. kappasnake drops low, picked off, but back at the BRB and taken out again immediately. As randomnaids not having enough support to keep their team up, as red team are bursting through them at the moment, holding on to that point. Ox going to be backing away here. Rymazing drops low, but it's holding the line as Ox takes out Nevix on the back line. Darkchild put on the half cooldown here. Interrupted as Rymazing is chasing them back here. All the way back to spawn, it seems here. Sypeh will finally get taken out. Ark's leading the charge, and they went deep with that. Now going to pull back to the choke point. Crimzo pulling back, holding the line, keeping the zone going. Looking pretty solid right now. Red team claiming that control earlier. kappasnake has disconnected here. See if they're able to return as red team locked in are likely going to take control of the point. Here's the wraparound from the lower entrance point. Even though they're down a member, we're still seeing blue team trying to contest this. kappasnake has reconnected and is returning to the point. They're going to try and contest this with everything they can. kappasnake transforming, turning onto the Doctor Strange so they can teleport in to rejoin their team as the fate of both worlds matching. Sypeh for DRP with that God of Mischief. There's the portal for kappasnake to bring it back in, which is good because SparkR and randomnaids have both fallen. My frame rate is absolutely eating it right now as Rymazing takes to the sky. Here comes the pull. Psionic seduction from Nevix to try and force him back. The shield trying to block it. Zachy in mid-air. Shield will be broken, but Rymazing won't find an elimination here. Forced Astral Flock to get out of danger. Darkchild to wipe out Zachy and Nevix, and that's going to be point number one, the control room. Cerebro under the control of red team as we're heading to the Grove. The Cradle, sorry. Not the control room, my apologies. Loading on in to point number 2. Let's see what they can do. Are we seeing any compositional swaps? The answer is yes. Zachy currently hovering on the Black Panther, the Punisher. Punisher plus Rocket. Still a solid option here. Star-Lord. Flipping through a lot of the DPS here. Is Star-Lord going to be the option? Let's look at the DPS. Rymazing on that Hella is a pretty solid counter to the Star-Lord. The magic, though, will have a little bit more trouble, so the potential is to try and draw away Rymazing's fire. See what they can do. Heading on out, has the Snowflake, so is going to get that consistent passive healing when Sypeh heals anyone else. Let's have a look at the statistics as they head into the center. Most eliminations, currently 15 for Honenuki. Most final hits, 7 for Arcs. Top damage, 10k for Rymazing. Top damage block, 15k for Nevix. And the top healing done, 13k for Sypeh. Already being dove onto once again. Arc 7Z is piling on the pressure right now. Swinging in. Random nades, bringing back Zachy. Pushing on in, SparkR is taken to the sky, trying to melt Crimzo, finds him round the corner. Terrain blocking, there's no one there to hit, getting focused down, but is able to reposition. DRP will fall, zachy will go down in exchange though, as consistently Arc is trying to hold the line, finally going to get locked down and picked off here. The diamond kick coming in to lock that in, Nevix. We know how good they are on this character, looking to try and even up the score here. Shield up with the Mind's Aegis to try and zone, but bringing it back until they need it. Quick Psychic Spear, trying to take out the extra healing, the extra protection from that CS. Psionic Seduction does do a little bit of damage, so they are able to clean that up, and it also is AoE, so it takes out that Regeneration Domain Lamp. And between that, they are able to zone away completely, taking out Crimzo from round the corner with that Psychic Spear, and now pushing in. Huge suplex with the kick. That is a big pickup onto Rymazing here. Question for the commenters. Where would you like to see the first international tournament be? When we finally get the Americas versus the Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and versus Asia and the oceanic regions, where would you like to see it dropped? Focus onto Arc. Back it up. Crimzo already on the point right now. Currently 73% to 17 in favor of blue team, but the point is held by red. Already an aggressive push again. The complete flip into Meteor M just to stay alive here. Just in range of that Fate of Both Worlds. Beautiful snipe between Crimzo and Rymazing, taking out zachy and SparkR. Rymazing following up. Red team keep control. Astral Flock, and then the Goddess's Descent to chase them down from above, to hit from over the terrain. The dive is deep. Fate of Both Worlds has to be dropped so they can keep chasing, keep doing damage. Media M from the other side. kappasnake into the backline, but the healing is too much. They're not going to get taken out here. DRP, that Fate of Both Worlds will fall. Honenuki is finally taken down as Nevix is leading the front. Here comes that Psionic Seduction to try and lock him in. Rymazing falls. SparkR on fire here, and again the control directly to try and take out Magneto. But kicking them off the point, there's a feast from the abyss. Psychic Spear to burst them down. The damage output that Everfrost offers is absolutely mental, as Honenuki can come on in here. Honenuki taken down. Arc swinging back in as blue team have retaken the point. They have control. They're already catching up to red team, who hit 81, which has just been surpassed. Nevix hold down the front line. SparkR eating a couple hits off the back here. Gets the protection from Magneto so they can back away, heal up to full. BRB, you can see, is in range to bring them back into this fight. Last chance to push in, or we're going to see this match even up. kappasnake. They could get the knockback onto Arc here. They might be able to prevent the overtime, but no, overtime is still touched. Shield onto zachy as they enter the Galactic Legend to push on in, taking out Arc right away. Media M, and the focus is big. 11 hit points taken down. Rymazing trying to find the right angle, but it's taking a lot of damage in the process, trying to get in for their team. Goddess of Death in Syncrasy, trying to take them out, trying to take SparkR out of the air, but it's Rymazing who falls first. Astral Flock to get out of danger will send SparkR down to the ground, but it's taken out. SparkR getting the final hit on the way. kappasnake getting the finishing blow, and blue team claim the point and even up the score. The cradle to red, the grove to blue. We enter the Gala itself for the carousel. Through the mutant gate. Ready to enter the Hellfire Gala. A celebration of heroes and villainies alike. Jerky has forced the issue there finally onto their Jeff the Landshark. And Honenuki is going to be the one to bite the bullet here, swapping onto the Emma Frost, just to give Jerky the chance to play that Jeff. Are they the best Jeff? Let's have a look. Let me have a look while they load on in. According to Rivals Meta, Jeff the Landshark, leaderboard. Yes, they are. According to this, Jerky, the only Celestial Jeff, the only Celestial Jeff player by the looks of it. At least on the leaderboard. Let's see what they can do. The up-E, very early close. They want to claim this early position right off the bat here. 8 seconds left before they activate it, but once they activate that Fate of Both Worlds, it will extend the ultimate, so you always wait until the last possible moment. Nevix, Diamond form, absorbing a little bit of health, and there is that ultimate targeted down here. Nevix taking a lot of damage, but they're going to try and take it with the Psionic Seduction to try and stop the retreat. They get Honenuki, who is focused down beautifully, and blue team shutting it down, waiting out the Fate of Both Worlds, and that is going to be the first point. Actually captured by red team, but blue team claiming it back and already surpassing the meager 8%. Team ability still active, but Honenuki is now on the rocket, and DRP is bringing in the Lunar Snow of their own. Let's see what Jerky is up to. Finds SparkR, who is also Jeff. Did not see that coming. Those two duel out a little bit here, but SparkR able to get away. There's too much sustain on these Jeffs for them to take out each other, it seems. Moving in with the healing into the back line, trying to take out the strategist. It's Jeff coming in from Jerky. Finds only Lunar Snow on the run. Are they going to go off the edge or just spit? Just spit, and they got away from the Star-Lord. They are out of there. Honenuki with the Seer, and that's likely going to be enough to secure this unless we see a play and a half. That's going to be a double pickup from SparkR, but they are focused down and picked off here. Crimzo now on the Emma Frost of their own, turning this round, dropping the damage onto SparkR, and we are seeing red team reclaim the point. These two teams getting very close to each other in terms of compositions. The Jeff harassment. This time from SparkR, who is also on the flank, also has the team up. Up in the backline, Psionic Seduction gonna be coming in from Crimzo, helping lock down RandomNaiDZ, but is getting chased with that diamond form. Has to drop their own to sustain Fate of Both Worlds, allowing them to hold through the point. Huge focus onto Nevix to try and take them down. The kicks to try and push them off center. The shields coming out, but it's good knockbacks, good pickups. kappasnake in the air, downtown into the hallway, but it's not going to be enough to pick anyone up as DRP goes into the Fate of Both Worlds. RandomNaiDZ is holding the team up with that Seer Beacon. Nevix with the Psionic Seduction, trying to pull them in. Not getting the targets they want, but is still pushing in deep into the backline. Crystal kick to try and get the zoning. Jerky is getting targeted here all the way down. They're going to get picked off. Feast from the abyss from beneath as Arx is trying to pressure that backline point. Still held on any percent. They've got them zoned pretty effectively here, but with Jerky down, having to return from spawn. Is there a play that can be made by SparkR? Zachy realizing they need to get to the point faster. Swap to Spider-Man. A little bit of backline dive of their own. Rymazing into the air on the Hella to try and burn on through, to try and hold this. Here comes the Jeff from SparkR, only getting one and once again taken out immediately. Psionic Seduction, and it's Jeff. They're locked down. It's a stink double swallow of their own teammates here. No, that was the enemy. It just showed us red. Why did it show us red? All right, the point is currently claimed by red team. They hold the line. kappasnake over the edge. They cannot delay this. Sorry about the confusion there. It just showed a little weird on the overlay. And that's going to be the win for red team. Ultron ascends, taking the cradle. And Arx powering onto the backline consistently. Most final hits there. Is able to secure the victory for their team. Just a constant backline dive. Let's look at these statistics. we have 28 eliminations, higher than both Rymazing, Zachy, SparkR, anyone really. Ark's just in control with 13 of those being final hits. The least amount of times getting eliminated. A very multi-man tie here between kappasnake, Arks, Crimzo, and Jerky. All staying up for their team, keeping their sustain going. Top damage, unsurprisingly, or no, a little bit surprisingly, sometimes you see it is going to be that Emma Frost these days because that damage output is crazy. But by 2k, it is going to be Rymazing who will bring that home. 23k for Crimzo and Arks, 24k for Nevix, 26k for Rymazing. They will snipe that top DPS slot. Top damage blocked, 41k for Nevix. There's a reason why they're often considered to be the rank 1 Emma, but Haluk trying to steal that title. Top healing, 28k normally might be enough in a lobby like this, but we're seeing 40k for Sypeh. 12k more than anyone else in the game, and still not enough. Still not enough to bring it home, but Sypeh is an absolute beast here. But that's going to be it. We see our first Krakoa maps, where we're seeing a lot of focus onto diving past on the point, a lot of focus onto getting onto the backline, and of course, when we're in the cradle itself, we're seeing a lot of focus onto trying to really hold the choke point to keep people off the point that way. I hope you've all enjoyed. Leave a request of games you'd like to see, players you'd like to see, replay IDs from your favourite games that you've watched from streamers, or if you're someone who just scrolls at Rivals Meta or the in-game leaderboards like me, then send something else. If there's something you'd like to see, I'll try and find it. I'm trying to be respectful for players that have their replay stuff in them, but sometimes you can't help it. I'm trying my best, but there's very little I can do about this. Reminder that we're doing this until MRC shows up. I'm still currently working on other content as well, so make sure that you leave a like, leave a comment, and help this channel grow so I can keep making content for all of you. A big shout out to our YouTube members, the people who help keep this channel alive. You're all helping keep the channel alive by liking the videos, commenting, subscribing, watching with ad block off or with YouTube Premium. But the members are the people who pay monthly to really help support the channel, and they get their shoutouts because of that. They get Roshula, Doki Pokey, and John getting their shoutouts. John is our longest running member, 2-month-long member. Big shout out to you, John. Absolutely love you, mate. And you can become a member as well. When you do, you get videos. Minimum, unless something goes wrong, of 24 hours early, but sometimes even longer. For example, this weekend, I'm going away Saturday, Sunday, and most of Monday, meaning that I need to have on Friday, there will be the Saturday, Sunday, and Monday videos all available. So you will have 3 days worth of early videos if you become a member over the next couple of days. Wait, when's this video going out? Is that too late of a warning? What day is it today? Today is Thursday. This video is going to be Friday. This video is going to be Saturday's video, so you won't actually know. Sorry, if you subscribe, you'll get Sunday and Monday's videos, so you'll get 2 videos early, so it still works out. For now, though, thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to find another game to cast, because I need to, record enough games to cover those dates. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day. I have been Tetcher. Email in the comments if you want to just say hi. Leave a comment as well. Email in the description, sorry. If you work for NetEase and want to hire your boy or any other company. DreamHack, I haven't worked for them in a while. Reach out. DreamHack and ESL, love all of them. Anyone who wants to run anything, I am very purchasable. And also sponsors. If you want to help me run a tournament or just sponsor these casts, then let me know. Thank you all very much for watching. I have been Tetcher, and I will see you all tomorrow.